Hey all, welcome back to Chevrolet 2000's Land Rover garage, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I'm all over the place at the moment, and I sort of am. My head's a bit of a mess really, but I've just received a package this morning and I've got 5 or 10 minutes, so I thought what I'd do is I'd put together a short little video. Now I've received this little international track package from Simon at PowerfulUK. Top banana is Simon. He's looked after me, as lad has over years, and he sells many and variety of good stuff. So this little package here contains some bulbs. You'll know that what I've done, I think I mentioned this a while back, but I've swapped the entire interior and these lights here to PowerfulUK's LED lights, and I didn't do an installation video on them because well, I forgot basically, but shoved them in and that with that. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is it's only going to be a short video because there's not really anything tremendously complicated about it, but I'm just going to show you how to fit these number plate lights. Now I've changed my number plate lights to an LED bulb because they're forever going out. They're them little torpedo chaps, and there are two sizes of torpedo bulbs, and I confess to not being very good at knowing which one's which or out measure them. But anyway, Simon sells a kit. Look, here's the torpedo bulbs and little lenses in here, and it replaces these chaps altogether. And I have bought from AliExpress some LED bulbs free. I did this last time I had Hastings, when I had Hastings, and the problem with these bulbs is that you have to find a very, very short bulb. They're a little halogen chap in there, and you can get a whole panel of LEDs. Sam over at Sam's Motors has done one where he did a live video where he pulled all light apart, and I have seen that done, and I have considered doing it myself, but I don't actually use backup lights very often here, and I can't really just tell you why, but I don't. Anyway, reversing lights as they call them back home. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change out those halogen bulbs, which are 55 watt and about 150 lumens a piece. And you can buy a very, very short one with multiple LEDs on from AliExpress for pennies, because it's from AliExpress. And they're 490 lumens, so they're like 3 times as bright. But they only run 11 watts or something like that, so less wattage and more lightage. Anyway, so they're coming, but they haven't arrived yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to pull these little lights off, because they can be a bit of a drama in terms of getting them out. You need a fancy, well, not a fancy tool, but you need a good plastic tool to pull them out with, and sometimes you break the little lights. And I'm just going to show you how to go about it, in case you wanted to take this thing up. Now, these number plate lights, PowerfulUK's kit number is, and I'll take a photograph of this, but it's LLK 577-kit, and it comes with two little covers and 2 little bulbs as well. Now you'll have seen me and this other box around here. This box, which is a different part number, and I'll take a photograph of that as well, but LLM 779 LED, that part, these are also 2 LEDs, little lights, and these are for the door mirrors. So on the door mirrors on Range Rovers, there are 2 types. There's the tight width cameras and the tight width out cameras, and even though this is an autobiography, it didn't have the cameras. Hastings had the cameras. But anyway, these are the new replacement lights, and they're actually quite easy to fit. The problem is getting your tool in here to push this clip out. You end up breaking the light unit on this, so it's a thing to do when you've got the parts and not after them. So I'll see if we can't flick one of these out as well. I think Sam's done this video. And I'm sort of stomping on territory that's already been covered, but when I fitted the front fogs, I think you'll see from the video if I've released it already, but the front fogs was a bit of a drama because the little grill that fits on front of them, mine were very, very difficult to take out, and I ended up breaking one at clips to get it out. the difficulty I had was that poking your screwdriver, and I probably haven't got the best one, but poking your screwdriver up in here was actually not the most easiest thing to do. It was difficult, so I broke, you'll see these clips, I broke mine and had to glue it all back together again. And when Sam had a go at his, he just sort of showed it screwdriver, it all fell on the floor. So I'm going to have a bit of a go, because mine, I did poke about them with a screwdriver when I first thought about changing bulb in them, and they didn't want to come out, so I might just do a bit of a video while I've got 5 minutes and show you what happens when they don't come out all like Sam's do. Anyway, let me remove camera and we'll see if we can get this in shot, and I'll show you how to change these. Right, so here you are. I've zoomed in a bit, so I hope you can see what's going on here, but right on the cusp on each side, on this side, on mine, on the left hand side of the car, you'll just see a little notch in these lights here, and behind that little notch is a little spring clip, and those spring clips, I'm just going to see if I can't just show you one before I poke a big hole in it and flirt the light across the room. But that little, behind that little clip is a little like a little metal pole, really, basically. And what you want to do is you want to sort of push your tool in where the gap is in the light unit itself, and then that pushes on the opposite side of the clip, and that's what you want to do. You want to push that clip out and then flick it down. So you just put your tool in, and then basically you're just levering this sort of clip to that side, and you'll see the spring sort of relieve then. Now when this comes out, of course, there's nothing wrong with the lens, to be honest, but then you take this little torpedo affair out. You wouldn't think they'd still use these torpedo affairs. These were used in early Range Rovers, weren't they? And in things of days gone by, many days gone by. And now I've gone and put me, where it is, I've got me put the bulb. So this is the new new torpedo light, and you've got to just poke it in and sort of manhandle it about, really. It's not a difficult job, but they do have a habit of flirting out if you haven't gone right in, as I have just demonstrated. And that's it. Now, these might not work both ways. You might just have to flick them out and spin them round, if you see what I mean. Sometimes the LEDs aren't very good at working in both directions. So, and same with the other one. You just flirt that out by spreading these clips a little bit, and they are a bit awkward to get at. There we are. Use a different tool first, that might help me on the job. There you are. So that's fell out, and then pop this other chap in wherever that's gone. What have I done with the other one? And then just pop that in the same way as you did the other side. Just apply a little bit of pressure and make sure you get the torpedo-y bits in the relevant things. I'm just going to pop lights on and see if that works. And the new covers just go on in the same way the old ones do now. They are worth keeping, the old ones. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with these old ones, as you can see. They've still got the foam. They're just a bit dirty and what have you. But Simon's kit comes with fresh pieces, so I'm just going to throw fresh bits on it, because why wouldn't you? Anyway, there you go. That's one all shite and briny, as they say back home. And then get this other one out of the bag and pop that in the same road. And thank you very much, Simon at PowerfulUK. There you are. Tip top, that. Much better job. Right, now I have struggled with these puddle light chaps in the door mirrors, because I have really struggled to get them out of this casing without breaking the light unit itself, and it's sometimes better to look at how these clips go. Now you can see this is the new one, and you can see that this space here, which I've got on mine but is slightly different, this houses and hides this clip, and it's this clip that you want to sort of get in and sort of press really, but the fit is very tight and it's almost impossible to get any sort of tool up around the outside, I have found in my experience. And I am having the same drama this time round. There we are, now it's come out this time. And there we have it. Now you have to be careful here. You can perhaps just see that there's a twist plug affair that houses that the bulb, and you can replace this bulb with a Phillips capless if you so chose, but the option that Simon has is just to install this light. Now this pops in the same fitting, and again you've got to open the door and switch it on to make sure that it works, because these capless bulbs definitely only work one way. Now I make a bit of a rookie mistake here by switching the car on, and then of course my phone connected to the car, but what I'm pointing out here is that attachment, that where the wires go into that little connector, there's not a lot of room up there in that mirror housing, and you've got to put that connector, you've got to sort of slide it down and to the back, and then you can feed the light up in that bottom corner nearest the car, and then squeeze the light up with your thumb. But right along where I'm currently pressing my thumb, that lip is very, very tight and very difficult to get the light in properly. What I had to do on the other side was use a tool, and I'm using it here, to kind of squeeze that end up in order to make sure that it's flush, and if you don't, you're going to get water and stuff in behind there, of course, which over time will be problematic. So it's as simple as that, really. My thanks to PowerfulUK and Simon for making these things available. I should mention there are other places to find these, but I get a lot of my stuff from Simon, because Simon's actually quite a wealth of information when it comes to Land Rovers and the like. So I like to support him, because I often reach out to him for some guidance here, there and everywhere, and he comes through. So I buy my stuff largely from him, apart from the odd bits and bobs that he doesn't carry, such as these little tiny bulbs here, and so most of my stuff comes from him anyway. So that's why I get them from him. I also buy some stuff from Land Rover. A lot of folk in America actually ask me where the cheapest place to buy parts from is, and I don't actually have the answer to that question, because I kind of shop about a bit, really. I buy some bits from Simon, and I buy these are from Jaguar Land Rover, and I buy some parts from Lucky 8 from Eric, and I get some parts from, I used to know a long time ago, I used to know Les from Rovers North. I used to know him quite well, but he's retired, and I believe he's not been terribly well, so I've sort of lost touch with him, really. But so I used to buy some parts from Rovers North, especially when I had my my classic Range Rover Classic. I've just done the front control front control arms, that's what these are. I've just done the front control arms on Land Rover, on Range Rover here, and I bought them from England. I bought them from LR Direct, because they were literally a third of the price that they were from Land Rover, and they were half the price that they were from Atlantic British. So the answer to that question is basically everywhere, really. I shop about a bit and I try and find the best prices, and I do like to use, as you've seen, I like to use, here's an example, look, I like to use Land Rover parts wherever I can, OEM bits, because I have had a lot of dramas with aftermarket bits not lasting very long. I did once have an LR3, and I was told by a number of people that aftermarket water pumps were spot on, but I fitted 3 before I went back to the OEM bit, and then I put another 2 on, but that's another story. So I do quite like Land Rover parts, or OEM parts at least, Delco parts or whoever it is that makes them for Land Rover. And so I try and source them from wherever I can. And LR Direct, and there are other places in England, but if you are wanting to buy some bits, I would suggest you shop about a bit, because the price difference will be quite shocking. When I came to replace this axle on the front, blew a front drive shaft, as I think I've said. And that was a bit of a drama, because I did order a part from World Parts because I needed the car in a hurry. And I don't know who World Parts are, but they were anything but right, and part came every size but wrong. In the end I ended up getting a part from Atlantic British, but that's a bit peculiar, because I bought a part 3 years ago from Atlantic British, this drive axle, and I bought an OEM part, not on sale, and it was $360 American. And now their cheapest OEM drive axle is $590, and it's only been 3 years, so I don't know why it's gone up that much. Anyway, so if you can wait a bit for some parts, I like to get some of them from England, because they actually come cheaper, even with shipping. I mean, those control arms were 1/3 of the price of Land Rovers, including shipping. Then they arrived in 3 days, so I mean, you don't have to wait that long. And Land Rover in Calgary would have had to order them from Toronto anyway, so it'd have been 4 days, get it from there. I tell you, the shipping in Canada is it's a world unto itself, I tell you it is. I can get parts more quickly from the UK shipped to my door than I can get them from Toronto, and it's the same country. Anyway, so I have got a few more upcoming things. I've got some brake pads on order. Now normally I change the discs all round when I do them, but as you might have figured out, there's been some family related issues, and some finances are up and down a bit at the moment, and so because the discs aren't actually worn, there's less than a mil of wear on the discs, and so I'm just going to do a pad slap, and I'll try and do a bit of a video on that, because that's actually fairly imminent. Things are wearing out, and they should be here in a matter of days. And I have gone with green stuff from, is it EBC Brakes, I think they're a British company. I did run the green stuff brake pads on my last one, and I was very, very happy with them indeed, so I'm going to try them again. So I've got that coming up, and I've got some oil on the way down. There's another story, you see, differential oil. Differential oils and transfer box oils on these Range Rovers are special. And there's a lot of noise on the forum about Focus run royal purple in the back end and some other stuff in transmission, or maybe it's other road round in transfer box, and the front diff, the open diff isn't so critical, but there's no general consensus of opinion. There's a lot of folk that say buy the Land Rover oil and use that. But it is very expensive, and there's a lot of folk who's run the royal purple and have been very happy with that, and I don't know enough about oils to kind of make any sense of it. I did speak to the AMSOIL rep about the transfer box a while back, and he looked at me and did some research and got back to me and said we have absolutely nothing that goes anywhere near it. So I'm assuming if it's that rare for AMSOIL not make a thing, then it's, you know, I don't know how well other oil manufacturers actually cover it. But anyway, so I've got that and those oils coming down, and so I'm going to do a bit of a video on changing the diff oils. Now they should be done at roughly 50 to 65,000 miles, and I don't think this has been done yet. At least it doesn't say so on my history. I've got the history somewhere. It's not a very big one, but it's a full service history. And so I'm going to do a video on that, and so I'm going to try and pump out a few little videos here, because I think I mentioned this on another video as well, I've got this roof rack, which is a fairly major operation, and I've got to rush that through because I've got a big job coming on that I need the roof rack for. So I've got that thing to do, and I've got, my time is going to be sort of divided between some family related dramas, and separation things, and some work things, and some mechanical things, and frisbee related things. So I'm going to be again limited on time here, but anyway, we'll see what we can do, and we'll bang out a few short videos, and away we go. Now, if there's anything that you would like me to discuss, please do let me know, and then we can perhaps I can knock a little video up. So if you wanted to give me a little list, I have had in the past a number of people that suggested a couple of little videos for me, and I have made the videos, and sometimes that's very helpful because it sort of steers me in a direction to know what it is that you're looking for from content. So I am more than happy to do that. So if there is something you'd be interested in me knocking a bit of a video up on, then please let me know. Anyway, that having been said, thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing. That is a very important function for us content creators, because it helps us to know that you are notified when there's a new video out, and that we can continue to make content for you in the direction that you want it to go. And with that, we'll see you next week. Cheerio.